I'm live. Fuck, I hope I'm live. All right. So, hey, I got my good hat on. Little New York. It's my buddy's pub, Longview. And clean shirt. My court vest. I gotta rebuild this. Can't find good vests anymore. Can't find good riding gloves either. They all look like shit. I used to be able to go to the Army surplus, and get. They had like back in the day. They still had like boxes of World War II Survey rider gloves, right? So, they were awesome. They were beautiful gauntlets, man, awesome. But they were old, and so even though they were brand new, they were old and NOS, I guess I call it, new old stock. And so they didn't last as long. And then being a tradesman and riding old panheads and shovel heads, you break down all the time and get them covered in oil and all that shit. Yeah. So I'm going to head down to Nalson, and I'm going to check out the folks. I just was to check out. I'm healthy enough now. I didn't want to go to anything where there was crowds because, like I say, I waited years for this abdominal fix. I mean, they literally had to bring my muscles back around and everything. It sucked, But yeah, I'm going to head down to Nalson, BC. Now, Nelson's weird. It's just in the fact that it's a government town, and that's the number one employer down there is government. It has a lot of quaint looking little shops that are all owned by big corporations. They look like independent little shops, but they're corporate. Mark's Workhouse, Canadian Tire, yeah, it's tomfoolery. The other part of Nelson is it's huge. What do you guys call these guys? We used to call them yippies, those guys where their jeans are so tight, it renders their beard useless. I don't know what you guys got a name for them, eh? But a lot of hippies, and I'm counting on that there's going to be a few, the hippie folks down there because, governments have overstepped, totally overstepped. I don't know how it works in a Napoleonic civil code country per se, except for, every right, I guess, to use the statutes and enactments and codes because there is nothing else. Whereas Canada, it's a bait and switch. And the common law lands are bait and switch, you see, because everyone is recognized to have a right. Governments have to recognize the supremacy of God, and they are considered public servants, not leaders and, all the usual mumbo jumbo. And so what happens is you have natural rights, you have intrinsic rights, you have, unabridgeable rights, you have unalienable rights. Every man, every woman does. And then they have their legal society. So if a man or a woman that's not part of the legal society, not part of, a learned friend, not qualified to use their codifications, their legal codes, even if you do a tight case at court, maybe you go into court and they can still find you guilty because you're not authorized to use their stuff. And this happens to many, many folks. And this is why they got nicknames for you folks. Self-litigants and what's the other one? I forget the other one, but don't really care. So I'm going to head down to Nelson and I just wish to quiz people, see what people are thinking, I got a government document here. Explains there was a man born on this land. If I get, harassed or tormented by a public servant, I'll show you the difference between Chris Sky and I. God bless that guy. Hey, at least there's one guy with some balls. He may be a complete citizen. He may be kind of weird and stuff, right? But he's standing on what he believes. And that's a man. There's a man. There's the man before you. As good as he is, as bad as he is, as good as he is. And he believes, and he, like somebody once said a long time ago, somebody a lot smarter than I. All these bills, rights, constitutions, and stuff, they mean nothing unless there's a man or a woman who enforces them. And all that legal paperwork applies to all our public servants, civil servants, whatever you want to name them. Anybody who operates on the public dole, who is acting as a state actor. All these things apply to them while they act within their office. Okay, it has nothing to do with me. I didn't create them. They're not mine. So, if you believe you are that piece of paper, that two-dimensional piece of paper, that birth certificate, well, God bless you. But that's not for me. So I'm going to go and get my shit together, walk the dogs, throw some swings at my wooden dummy. I'm just starting to get back into. And hopefully nobody injures my injuries. But I'll just, there's different ways to act in different situations. And the man has self-control for the most part. I know I vented the last little while, but fuck, must have been my feminine side. But yeah, so I'll do my best to get film and see what happens. I don't know. This is Canada. Like, what are we going to get? 6 people? If you look at England right now, thousands of thousands. You look at, was it Spain? I just looked at thousands and thousands. Yeah. Whatever. It's going to be interesting. And I'm just curious about people. If I feel like I've done a well enough job, I'll send it over to Rebel News. But the thing is, they could never hire me anyways. Even if I was any good, I did a really good job. There's no way, they'd want to be associated with me because I have a past. And back in the free world, when you paid for your mistake, that was the end of it. But I guess there's stuff called government records and RCMP records, and it's nothing serious. Like, I wasn't a bank robber. I didn't go out hurting folks. I just stuck up for myself the way I knew how back when I was younger, when coppers wanted to beat the shit out of me on the side of the road or in a cell or at their off-duty cop where I didn't realize I was in, And so, they can come out, they can lie. They're legally allowed to lie all day long. Just like that young feller that pulled me over the other day, Well, I'm not going to give you a ticket for not having your license this time. Well, first off, it's not my fucking license. It belongs to British Columbia. It's not mine. So I didn't create it. It's not mine. But if somebody does stop me and ask for government documents, I will show you how I question. I will show you how I converse and keep the peace and take orders and get info so that I can, so that I may charge for the orders that I will faithfully fulfill as long as it's not causing any harm. And the only orders I don't take are ones that I don't care who's it from, No, if you're going to get me to cause harm, loss, or injury to my fellow man, yeah. That's what's funny about, you persons. you all hate each other for your different sizes and shades and everything else, and you don't take the time to look at what's inside the woman, what's inside the man. You're just so busy being superficial. and and you know like mankind comes in many shapes, sizes, and they're both feminine and masculine. And I think those people of heart and with good intentions are people to converse with, get to know, associate with. Those with evil intentions that just want to build themselves up by bringing others down, they're wrongdoers. And my belief is they're evildoers, and they can just go fuck themselves, as far as I'm concerned. And the fact that no one stands up, got a daddy in jail trying to protect his kid from Nazi experimental surgeries and drugs and stuff, because the school board, the co-parents decided that this kid's now going to have a sex change at 14 years old and throw the old man in jail. So that's the thing. You want to be a person, you don't know how to claim your property, check the case out in BC, because that's what you're going to get. Could they do it to a man or a woman? Yeah, they might be able to. But then they're coming right off base. They're out of their authority. The claim of property is the highest claim on the land. And that was one more thing I just want to mention. You know how, Trudeau and his bunch of wrongdoers, they're this whole great reset thing about, you own nothing, you'll be happy. I want you to, I know if people don't know about trusts, they don't have a fucking clue. But here you got trust fund people, the Rockefellers trusts, the Rothschilds trusts, the Trudeaus trust. These people all have, I don't know about Trudeau's trust, if it's statutory or if it's common law, but these people all live within trust. And so they own nothing because it's all in trust. That means if you try to sue the man or woman, you can't sue them because they have nothing. They're paupers, right? Except for maybe a gift or a benefit from the trust. And that to them, okay, this is the bait and switch again. Trudeau can say, own nothing and be happy, right? Because he owns nothing and he's happy because he lives off of it. He's a beneficiary of the trust. Canada is a trust. And those who wish, those of and from this land are recognized to become a part of the corporate body from other lands, you benefit, and you can benefit. But nobody can force you to act as a beneficiary. Today I may wish, if I see a benefit, yeah, I'll receive that benefit. But tomorrow I say, oh no, this is causing harm. This is causing me harm. I don't wish to partake in said benefit. It's my right as one. Okay, see, there's no color, size, creed, or whatever to one, to mankind. But as one of mankind, or as one, or as everyone, I have the complete right to choose what I believe to be a benefit and act within or upon or whatever, or not to. So anyways, I better get these dogs walked and beat up my dummy for a bit. Have my dummy beat me up and get into this thing. So have a great day, guys.